Hello internet people. I am making a Papyrus from Undertale Perler bead project. About a week ago I finished making my Sans Perler bead project, so I figured I'd give Sans some company, make Papyrus's bro. So, I just finished flipping them over with the taping method that I've talked about in a few other videos. If you haven't seen that, usually Perler beads you put them on this grid. And after you're done, at least for me, what I found helpful is that you put tape over all the beads and you flip them over just like this. And the ironing method that I'm going to talk about in just a second turns out a lot better. Because if you iron on top of these, a lot of times they warp and they don't really work out right. So I usually tape everything just like I did with Papyrus here and then iron them with the tape on it. So, without further ado, I have my parchment paper right here. I'm going to put parchment over this Papyrus, and I'm going to start to iron them up, making sure that I melt all these beads together, making sure they don't miss anything, and I'm going to speed this up so that way it's not as boring. Papyrus is getting ironed. That's what's happening to Papyrus. Papyrus is getting ironed. A few more seconds then he'll be done. Now Papyrus is getting ironed. Okay, so I'm going to say Papyrus is thoroughly ironed. He is extremely hot right now. So usually what happens when these Perler beads get really hot is they start to warp and this is going to start to curl. So in order to prevent that from happening, from it to curl up like this, I am going to carefully, it makes me scared doing this. I'm going to carefully, that was careful, flip this over so that way the curling that it does is going to go into the ground, so it's going to prevent it from curling up too much. I'm going to let this cool down for a little bit, maybe give it 5 minutes or so. Papyrus is pretty cool now, so I'm going to start to take this tape off of him. I recommend that when you take off the tape, you just be careful and look for any stray beads that may have not have gotten ironed down, because you might need to go back into those and put them back on, especially the beads at the corners. Those like to not get ironed and fall off sometimes. So if you ever do a Perler bead project that's kind of big like Papyrus right here, that's my recommendation to you. But again, I'm going to speed this up so that way it's not boring. Okay, so it looks like I didn't miss any beads. Everything seems to be all together. As you can see here, whoa, this is one solid piece. I thought his head was going to fall off. But everything is looking pretty secure, so I'm pretty happy with my sassy Papyrus right now. I have to wait for my canvas to dry because I just spray painted that black, just like I did with the Sans. But I actually made a mistake. So the canvas that I had before, it wasn't tall enough for him. For Papyrus, it was a little bit off, so I had to go to the store today and get one that was a little bit taller. Papyrus here is like a good 20 inches tall, so I underestimated. So anyway, I'm going to do that, and then eventually I'm going to glue the Papyrus Sprite onto my canvas using E6000 glue. That does not fall off. It doesn't fall off at all with Sans, so I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So while my canvas is drying, here's a quick little time-lapse clip of me assembling Papyrus. This is 64 times faster than I was assembling it, so I wish I was this fast, but just pretend this is 64 times slower, and that's how fast I was going. I finished gluing down Papyrus onto my canvas. That is all dry now, and I think he looks pretty awesome right next to his bro. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next project. Oh, I forgot one more thing. There you go.